Hello everyone! Hello everyone! This is MV broadcasting from a very cold Cardiff in Wales. Just got back in from a little evening out, seeing a friend of mine, and that was lovely to see her and her new friends, or one of her old friends, who is now one of her new friends who's now my new friend, and also her old friend, which was always my friend, if that makes sense. Just a bit of broadcasting, streaming, as it's Friday night. Guess what I'm doing tomorrow? I'm doing a bit of mudlarking. Yes, mudlarking. A friend of mine, a lady friend of mine, said to me, Mark, do you fancy a bit of mudlarking? I said, what? Excuse me? Pardon me? What the hell is mudlarking? If anyone knows what it is, I do know now what it is. So I had visions of mud wrestling, and I thought, well, it's interesting, but my friend's my friend at the end of the day. I don't want to be, crossing the boundary, so to speak. So, mudlarking it is. Apparently that's like foraging in a forest for hidden treasure. So MV tomorrow will be, she said to bring boots. So I've dug up some old boots of mine, hope they fit. Some jeans, some trousers, or pants as you call them in the States, or in North America, whereas pants tend to be underwear for us. I'll have those as well. Doing some foraging, looking for treasure in a forest in Swansea. Go figure. So I'm looking forward to that tomorrow. But I thought I'd just do a little bit of baseball. And as Beatles has been doing Beatles Eternally channel, Beatles has an eclectic, let's say an array of games he constantly shows. And I normally stick to baseball action PC. He asked me the question, he said, MV, I've noticed you've not played much Out of the Park. Well, I was lucky enough to go on his channel recently and talk about the differences between Out of the Park and Baseball Mogul. I think he covered that quite well with Mike Silver, who I knew as Silvam on the Out of the Park thing, and the Out of the Park forums. So I thought, let me just fire up an old game of Out of the Park that I'm playing in the background. I've streamed a few before, and it is a game based on 1953. There we are. I've got Commissioner mode on, as I like to watch the games and see what's going on. But over the last few months, apart from before my holiday, I was playing Action PC, which I absolutely love. A bit of basketball, a bit of basketball, but also a bit of, what was I playing? Yeah, Action PC 1982 season. So I've just paused that for the moment and just thought, let me go back into Out of the Park. Because sometimes you need a break from these games, don't you? Do you know what I mean? Because the games are, we all love the games. I'm just trying to get my words out now, to be honest with you. We all love the games, but you can only play one at once, or two or three at once, but there's also the new games that come out. I'm a very big fan of military games. And there's a game called Gates of Hell. Sorry to bring that up right at this time of the day. And they've released a new DLC for the, I think it's the Invasion Pack, they've called it, or something like that, which simulates the Normandy invasions of 1944, June the 6th, to be precise. So, I haven't downloaded it yet, but I will. But anyway, I drift off of baseball. It was good hearing Bernie talk recently about his experience being a Red Sox fan. It was that conversation, funny enough, that triggered me to go back to 1953. So I'm just going to show a game. I'll choose the game. The league at the moment, if you're interested in how I've set this up, I think a few people have just been asking lots of questions. I take Out of the Park for granted a bit because I've been playing it for 20 years. So I've kind of evolved with it and kind of know how to maneuver my way around it. But let's see if I can remember what I did here. Game settings, is that right? Yeah. So I'm just trying to see how I set this league up. Here we are, league settings. There you go. So on this one, as you know, I'm a big fan of... Oh, it's not coming up. See, I'm a bit rusty here. I'm a big fan of DH. So at the moment, if I remember correctly, these are my manager options, and nothing that you don't know. Playing in commissioner mode, there's no cannot be fired because I'm not playing the other roles. So at the moment, all is well with this at the present. But I'm just going to show you the standing of 1953. I think I had to make one adjustment. I think Willie Mays was on military service that year. So sometimes he shows as a free agent at the beginning of the save. So I put him back on the Giants. And sometimes you have to just double check to make sure you account for some anomalies. So while I say that, there's a big exclamation mark there. Live scores. I love this stuff. And it hasn't changed, to be honest with you. From the very first version of the game, I was able to do any of this stuff, except probably... Yeah, I think, if I remember correctly, most of these were in there as well. Right back to 1999. It's the presentation of it's changed, and maybe the depth of it has changed. But I know I had these options. I definitely had the options to look at league history and league settings right from the get-go. Okay, so I just wanted to look at free agents, just to see if there was anybody that I didn't carry over, even though the season's quite old now. These are all real players. I think these are all real free agents, or people that played who, in my version of the game, it's only one season, have become free agents. So I'm probably going to look at the overall to see why someone's not playing or where they really were. There's a Joe Kireen. That's what he did in real life. In real life, he was playing. So 1953, there is no 1953. So again, this person probably was in the White Sox organization and probably still should be. So you have to double check that sometimes. As you see, 50-50, he probably went to military service, 51, 52, 53. I don't know if that coincides with the Korean War. Someone can tell me that. But either way, it looks as if he was in service. Otherwise, why is there a gap? So he should really be on the White Sox. He looks like he's in AAA at the moment, in the Pacific Coast League. And I absolutely love this sort of detail that you have in down in the park, you know. So, like I said, it's a quick broadcast as I familiarise myself with what's going on. So, welcome anyone that does come in. Can't see if anyone's watching or not. I don't think so. I see messages, but I can't see what they are. Where am I going wrong here, folks? Show every message. Oh, someone's got 3 messages, but I'll just put here welcome. See if I can see that. And I'm hoping there's no echo on my voice. Like I said, if you want the instructions for this game, Beatles Eternal, his channel is pretty good, very in depth. He updates his tutorials regularly. He must have tutorials on ballparks, at least 3 of them. Just tutorial after tutorial, but it's really good. He keeps embedding it. Yeah, so that's me in the chat, so I can see it's me alone. Right, so without further ado, let's just have a quick look. So Joe Kireen is one that probably needs to be reassigned. Let's have a look at Lloyd Christopher. The name sounds familiar. Let's have a look. Real life stats, 19 foot. So he would have been a real free agent. God knows where he really was. Look at his real life stats. The last time he played was just after the Second World War, again for the White Sox. Joe Gordon's there, 38-year-old Joe Gordon. At this time, he would have been a free agent. He's still in the database. Not sure where he was after the age of 35. But again, I love the fact it keeps all this stuff. That's his real life stats. I think this game, I'm not sure what season I started. I'm sure it's 53. So I love looking at some of these guys. You know, George Gordon's a top player. Let's have a quick look. And the navigation of this is probably a little smoother than action. Well, let's just say it's different. Any names stand out there at all? Dizzy Trout. Looks like he's been pitching lately, wherever he is. There's a 37-year-old Dizzy Trout. Okay, you can create the cards. Again, I like this kind of thing. Dizzy Trout. And then you can, there he is. Lovely card made for Dizzy Trout. I think it's the father of Steve Trout, who later played, as I remember, for the Cubbies in the 80s. So in 1945, we went 18 and 15. I just love the detail in here. You just don't get that in the other game, which is Baseball Mogul. good season in 1950, so he's finishing up his career, obviously. He was in Boston, Detroit in 52, and now it looks like he's playing minor league ball. Love the scouting reports at the moment saying Dizzy Trout. This is what always fascinates me. Hello, Cleveland baseball fan. Just doing a little bit of I catch up. I've been a bit dormant as of late. Doing a bit of basketball. And so I thought I'd give it a little stab of my out of the park 1953 season. Because the Beatles was asking if I do this. So welcome into the chat, Clee. Yeah, just look at Dizzy Trout as a right-handed pitcher and a 14-year-old MLB veteran. I just love the way they did this. And what I've really enjoyed is the fact they did this from the very beginning. Like the early 1999 CD version I had a scouting report, and I still can't work out how the hell do they do that. He features a sinker, forkball, fastball, curveball, knuckle curve, and screwball. His pitches have plenty of movement, so he's a good pitcher still, but he's obviously done. His major league days in my game, there is a 53. He's playing in the Western League for the Denver Bears. So he's still pitching at 37 in 1953. Dizzy Trout made him a nice little baseball card. And I think that's another thing I like about this out of the park, particularly the last, say, 10 years. It's a proper sandbox. You can get immersed in your universe to such an extent, you know. Here's Whitey Kurowski, a name I do remember. For some reason, I think it's the Cardinals, was it? He's showing up as being retired or in the ether since 1949. He's done a bugger all, as we say in the UK. If I see what he's done in my game, he plays up to 1949, so yeah. So again, there's a name I do remember, played on those Cardinals teams. All started 43, 44, 45, 46, 47. Does that really count, though, with everyone being away? But I do remember reading about Whitey Kurowski, you know, playing with Red Shindienst. Here's another name I do know. He's one of my Red Bolts from the Interleague League. He's now 56 years old, but he's still in the database. So I'm not sure when they actually disappear from the database. Surely he can't be pitching anymore. No, he's not. He's 26. So he must be a coach maybe somewhere, but he doesn't say anything. His career ended in 1934. In real life, doesn't capture all of his stats, which is quite interesting. Anyway, so that's the stats. So look at the standings and looked at the free agents. You can see quite clearly the Detroit Tigers in 1953 are leading the league, and the Phillies are doing still quite well in the National League. The Dodgers are parked up quite close with the Cardinals, so this is a rivalry that I'm looking forward to seeing. I don't know too much about many of these teams in that era. Good afternoon, good evening, Legends. I don't know when you're going on, Legends. I'm looking forward to my Giants coming back to prominence. They were losing the game yesterday, not to spoil it for anyone. And I think it was, let me see now. Oh my God, I think it was McCovey hit Mellott. Looked like he was going to hit one out, then he hit a double afterwards. And I kind of disappeared after that, Legends. So Legend Sports Networks broadcasting a wonderful Season 2 of his league. Please join him over there. I'm enjoying watching it. Sometimes I get just snippets. I'm waiting for the final, really, the World Series. Here are those Giants, and many of those Giants that may be in that league. They're not performing pretty good at the moment. The following year in real life, I believe they would win. Did they win the World Series in 54? Yes, they did. They beat the Cleveland Indians, off the top of my head. So, there they are. So let's have a look at the game, because that's what I'm here for. Mike Silver was on Beatles Network recently, and it was good to meet him for the first time. And I started to pull out my off the job. I pull out my out of the park. So what game I'm going to look at and play today, or watch today? I go to scores and look down the list and see who's who and who's what and what do I want to see. So I'm going to. There's a couple of games to play still. There's a game in progress. I don't know if I saved it or not. Obviously not. I think Beatles was talking about watching the replay and the highlight reel. There are some options you need to do before you even do that to make sure it works. So if I put watch replay, it won't, because my replay settings have not been set, so I don't need to do that anyway. Highlight reel's the same. You have to set it up first. Anyway, those have all been played. So if I just play finish today, we'll get the game we're going to see. So that day's been played, and let's have a look. Early win versus Frank Bauman. No. Joe Dobson, Whitey Ford, possibly. Probably could watch that one. Yeah. I'm pulling for the Expos legends. Pulling for the Expos. No, what am I saying? I'm pulling for the Giants, Expos. No, hell no. The Giants. I just hope the Giants win it. But those A's are so powerful. I've got Harry Brickin versus Chuck Stops. Dempsey Britt, I love these names, versus Harry Bird. Kurt Simmons, yeah, versus Warren Hacker. Now, Hacker is different from Guy Hacker, but I had both in my Shanks League 3. I think Hacker was in Shanks 2, and Guy Hacker, real ringer, was in Shanks 3. There we are, my brother from another mother, Big Clue. How are you doing, Big Clue? Happy belated Thanksgiving to y'all. We've got Ralph Branker versus Joe Knoxall. Now, Clue can tell me all about Joe Knoxall. I know a little bit about Ralph Branker. The famous baseball book, Bums. I'm a big fan of that book, and I learned all about Ralph Branker in that one. Plus, I've watched some videos. But Joe Knoxall is a name I've heard of. I don't know much about. There is Johnny Lindell versus one of my favorites in Action PC anyway, Johnny Antonelli. And with the Dodgers, there's the Ron, I've never heard of this guy, Ron Nichai? Oh, like Nichio. Hey, I can't even pronounce it. Ron Nichai versus Harvey Hadix, who I do know of. So, gentlemen, I will go with, let's see if I look at this Joe Knoxall, shall we? I do know who Ralph Branker. Any thoughts on Joe Knoxall? It's a name I've heard of. I don't know much about this. It's 1953, Crossley Field. It's 8:05 p.m. We've got a small attendance of 6,833. Not very good. The wind is blowing out to centre at 11 miles per hour. And I shall do this in my default British accent. All right? Okay, here we go. So, we're going to get some education here, because I think the first one up is Clee Baseball. Who says? Knoxall made his MLB debut and later went to become Reds radio announcer. Thank you very much for that, Clee Baseball fan. Clue, I was just saying earlier in my introduction, I'm doing some mudlarking tomorrow. Anyone know what mudlarking is? A girlfriend of mine, or another friend of mine I should say, has invited me down tomorrow to forage in the forest. So I'm looking forward to that. She asked me to bring boots. Not looking forward to that. So Big Clue is telling me some extra information, which is that Knoxall was a serviceable pitcher for the Reds, on and off for a decade. Okay. He was a beloved colour man for the Raiders since 1970. So I take it he's obviously retired by now. He's probably not even alive now, bless him. Okay, thank you for that, Clue. Rounding third and heading home. Okay, I like that. Thanks, Joe and Clee, for that, as you continue to educate me on the... I think that's why I like watching the streams. I'm hearing names I'm familiar with, but I don't actually do. But let's have a look at the lineups. The Giants lineup, Alvin Dark lines up in leadoff position. Whitey Lockman is first. Monty Irvin left field. Bobby Thompson, the Scotsman, in centre field. Hank Thompson, previous Negro Leaguer, in third. Don Mueller, great hitter, in right field. In second base is Darryl Spencer. Now, Darryl Spencer, I'm pretty sure, also played in the 60s. I'm pretty confident he did. Wes Westrom, the catcher, and Ralph Branker. So somehow Branker has ended up on the Giants. Was he traded in my game, or did he play there in real life? Any offerings on Ralph Branker? So let's have a look. In real life, Ralph Branker played for the Brooklyn Dodgers up until 52. All right, so I've learnt something here. But he's playing for the Giants. Yankees. So hold on a minute. I picked him by name. So Ralph Branker's playing for the Giants. Let's double check that again. Anyone like to opine on this one, please? Ralph Branker playing for the Giants. In real life, in 1954, he plays for the Yankees. So my game has obviously been traded. History. He's been traded. Well, where's his news? It does have news about them when they've been... Anyway, he's been traded, it looks like. This is an old screen that's still being carried to this day. It's been around since Out of the Park 6. This screen here, for those of us who know the game pretty well, you probably recognize that. It says it was claimed off waivers by New York while with Brooklyn. So waivers, I think I understand, but I'm not quite sure. It's where their contract is in a position where they can be claimed. Quite clearly, I can see that. Okay, so Big Clue says, I have to forage every time the wife asks me to go into the pantry. Bit of foraging there from Clue. Yeah, I think my OTP, I got the skin, Clue. I think it was on Steam. So this is the original one I remember from Out of the Park 6 or 6.5. And it's a classic one. It's one of the ones that people like, but you have to get it from Steam. I will do. Yeah, I have a couple of defaults, but that's it. But yeah, Friday baseball, folks. Friday baseball. Let's do it. Let's do it. You bear my accent. And it will be quick, so probably be about 15 minutes. So hang in, buckle up, and let's start the game. It's the Reds versus the Giants at Crossley Field. Some names I remember. There's the old Clue himself, batting third as the screen lines itself up. Now, I'm hoping to get my view right here. So leading off for the Giants, Alvin Dark, at the moment batting 271. Not a great man at getting on base at the moment. Doesn't got a good eye. Nuxel is on the mound. Joe Nuxel, lefty, batting, pitching at the moment. He's only just started the season, so not much going on there. And here we go. At first, behind the plate, Andy Semenick, 32-year-old veteran. At first base, Big Clue himself. We have Big Clue on the field and we have Big Clue in the house. He is 28, Big Clue in the stand at the moment. As Big Clue says, the waivers process was invented to give weaker teams a chance at unwanted players being kicked off the roster, thank you, Clue, or preventing late season leading acquires. Yeah, I get it. No, thanks, Clue. That makes a lot of sense. So Kazuki at first, second base, Rocky Bridges. At shortstop, Roy McMillan. So there's a couple of young bucks at second and short. At third base, Bobby Adams, a veteran at 31 for Cleveland. Left field, Jim Greengrass, 25 years old. Just come up from the minors, it looks like. Up in center field, when I see his name, is Gus Bell. I think he's the father of another famous Bell. And in right field, Willard Marshall. So Big Clue says, yes, he's already said what he said. Here we go. So Nuxel looks in. Doc is ready. We are ready for the first pitch. I might play around with my camera. Here's the pitch. Grounded to short. That's thrown over to first, and he's on the money. McMillan with a clean pickup and one away. Here's Whitey Luckman stepping in now. He's batting 232 on the season. Nuxel stares in. Here's the 1-0. That's hit to left field. Greengrass has it, and that's 2 away. I don't know much about Greengrass in left field, but he covered a lot of grass to get that ball. 2 away now. Top of the first inning. Joe Nuxel, a serviceable pitcher throughout his career, on the mound. Monty Irvin, the Negro Leaguer, steps in, the ex-Negro Leaguer, batting 303. Part of the 1950 World Series Giants team, and 54. Nuxel looks in. Here's the 2-2. Inside, and that's hit high in the air to center field. And Bell tracks back in it, and Greengrass is called off. And Bell makes the catch. And that's the end of the first inning. New York goes down in order. There's a certain speed to Out of the Park that I enjoy. So yes, the Clue confirmed my thought process. Gus Bell is the father of third baseman Buddy Bell, and grandfather of current Red manager David Bell. I didn't know it was the grandfather of David Bell. Here we go, top of the bottom of the first inning. Behind the plate, Wes Westrom. At first, Whitey Lockman. Second base, Darrell Spencer. Shortstop, Alvin Dark. Third base, Hank Thompson. In center field, left field, Monty Irvin. In centre field, Bobby Thompson, 29-year-old Scotsman. And in right field, Don Mueller, one of my favourites. I read the biography from Willie Mays many years ago, and he talked about Don Mueller. Branca on the mound. Branca been acquired off waivers from the Dodgers. Greengrass steps up. He's the leadoff man. Greengrass batting .227 on the season. Here's the 1-0 from Ralph. Grounded to short. Over the first. Got him. Nice play by Alvin Dark. And that is one away as my American accent tries to slip back in. Bobby Adams up next. He's batting .203 on the season. Here's a 2-1 from Branca. Driven straight at second, and Spencer hardly has to move. Nice play. 2 away, as Clean Baseball says. Yeah, keep them coming, guys. Oh, sugar. It dropped everything. Keep them coming, because I'm learning as I go along. As much as I know, I'm learning so much more. You guys have grown up with this history, but I am learned it in a different way. So most of it I'm beginning to learn from just being online with you guys. So, Clean Baseball's fan says, it's 53, Clue, season 53. Alvin Dark is the man who correctly predicted that man would land on the moon before Caleb Perry would hit a home run. Perry homered just after the man landed on the moon. That's such a great story, yeah. That's so cool. 2 away here at the bottom of the first. Ted Kluszewski now, big Clue at the plate. He's off to a great start to the season, batting .347. He's had 9 home runs. Here's the 3-2 from Branca. And Kluszewski takes ball 4 low. So runner on for the Reds. Here's Gus Bell, man, synonymous with baseball history. Left-hand hitter, batting .307. Branca stares in. Here is the first pitch. Popped up, and it's going to be caught by the third baseman, Thompson. So 1, 2, 3. Well, not 1, 2, 3. They're all out. Go to the top of the second inning. Score is 0-0 here at Crossley Field. At the plate now is Bobby Thompson. Nuxel stares in. Here's the 0-2 to Thompson. Struck him out. Fastball there just sits down Thompson. That's 1 away. Brings up Hank Thompson, extra Negro Leaguer, lefty hitter. He's not off to a good start just yet, but has power in his bat. Lefty versus lefty. Here's the 1-2 from Nuxel. And that's inside. Nice delivery from Nuxel. Slider inside. And it's a slider anyway. And that's 2 away. Let's have a look what's going on in the chat. Okay, so thank you for the color commentary there, Clue. This is all valuable stuff. Rogers Hornsby, the Raja. And I believe from my understanding, if my memory is correct, wasn't Hornsby a really unpopular git? Like really horrible? I could be wrong. I'm trying to remember myself. Any of you baseball enthusiasts and historians, if you know that, let me know. Here's Nuxel now, 2 away. Joe looking good so far. Here's Don Mueller, a man that will hit this to right field, I'm almost certain. There's the first pitch to Mueller. That's driven up the middle for a base hit, right on cue. He's always hitting. So Giants have a man on board, 2 out, top of the second, 1 man on base. Up steps Darrell Spencer, batting .316. If I remember correctly, did Darrell Spencer play in the 1962 Giants? The legend says here, merging my sports, working on the Vikings for a franchise baseball football league, project, or listen to your baseball stream. Best of both worlds. Oh, bless you. Yes, definitely legend. I understand what you're doing. What system are you playing it on? Are you playing on Madden? Action? A football game? Or are you trying out Axis football? Or are you using Pro Strategy football? Here's Darrell Spencer now waiting for the pitch. He pops this one up, and that's going to be out. Easy play for Spencer. Side retire, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on. We go to the bottom of the second inning, and Roy McMillan, the shortstop, steps in. Not a good hitter, bats .236. Westrom puts a sign down. Branca kicks and fires on the 1-0. And that's smashed on the ground. Doc picks it up over the first. Got him. One away. Nice bullet throw from Alvin Dark at shortstop. Stepping in now is the right fielder, Willard Marshall. Again, clue. Anyone? Legends? Clue. I don't know anything about Willard Marshall. So yes, I am right. Oh, he played for the... Okay, thank you, Legend Sports, this game. Legend says his football game is created for Madden 24. It will be built the same way that he built the baseball project. I'm looking forward to that. Spencer played for the Dodgers in 62 in real life. Yes. Nice one, nice one, nice one. Keep him coming. Willard Marshall steps in now. He's batting a paltry 190. Has some pop in his bat. Here's the pitch. Grounded to second. Spencer up with it to Marshall. Got him. 2 away. Let's see if I can change. I want to see a bit more of the stadium. Is it? I think that's what they've done is with this stadium stuff. By the way, is it's slightly different for every stadium. That's fine. So here steps Andy Semenuk, another player that's synonymous with the Phillies, if I remember correctly. Anything on Andy Semenuk, please let us know. He's batting 247. 2 out here, bottom of the second. Branca looks in. Here's the 0-2. That's hit to right field. That's going to be, should be caught quite easily there by Don Mueller. That retires the side. Cincinnati goes in order. The score as we go to the top of the third. New York Giants, nothing. Cincinnati Reds, nothing. Joe Knoxville on the mound as Wes Westrom steps to the plate. Semenuk puts the target down. It's a 3-2 count. Inside, ball 4. So a full count there results in a ball 4 there. Joe Knoxville walks his man. That's his first walk of the day. Ralph Branca steps in now, so I clearly did not have DH on. Why? Here's the 1-0 to Branca. He bunts it down the third baseline, and Adams scooped it up and over to Bridges, and Branca retired. Sacrifice hit as Wes Westrom takes second. Looking at third base here for the Reds, Bobby Adams. Any takers of Bobby Adams? So Willard Marshall is up. We talked about Willard Marshall earlier. He hit 36 home runs in 1947. That's a good season, but never hit more than 14 in the season. Before or after? Early steroid user? Maybe the quality of the people were not quite right after the Second World War, I guess. That's my theory, my lone theory. Here's Alvin Dark now, 1 out for the Giants. Top of the third, score nothing. Knoxville looks in. Here's the 0-1 from Joe. Grounded to short, over the first. Got him, nice play there by McMillan. 2 away. Roy McMillan at shortstop. He had a decent career that lasted from 1964. Bridges at second. Seemed to have a career that went into 1960. A serviceable player, it looked like. Here's Whitey Lockman now. Score, like I said, is nothing. Man on second. 2 out. Knoxville studies the sign from Semenuk. Here's the 1-1. And that's cracked to second. Bridges up with it over to first. Got him. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 left on. Still no score at Crossley Field. We go to the bottom of the third inning, and Rocky Bridges. I keep saying Tommy. Rocky Bridges. Where am I getting Tommy Bridges from? Rocky Bridges steps up to the plate. Rocky batting 253 on the season. No home runs. The man that can steal. Branca studies the sign from Westrom. It's a full count. And that's drilled down the third. Up with it goes Hank Thompson. Scoops it up, fires the Lockman for the out. 1 away. Close ball game so far. I've probably just jinxed it. As the pitcher Knoxville steps in, no DH today. Which in an MV league is heresy. I forgot to press the button. 1 out. There's a pitch and there's a base hit. I knew I put the hex on it. Base hit for Nuxel. Sharply hit past Hank Thompson at third. That brings up Jim Greengrass, batting .225. Nice breeze out to center field at 11 miles per hour. Small crowd today in this partly cloudy stadium. Crossley Field. Nicely rendered by Mike Silva or Sylvan. Branca is just working his way through the inning. One man on, takes a look over at first. Nuxel is just edging away just a bit. I don't think he's a threat to steal. Here's the 2-0. And that's cracked to first. What a diving play at first. Great play at first, but Greengrass is safe on an infield single. Nice play there at first base by Whitey Lockman. That would have gone for extra bases. So Nuxel at second. And the first base is Greengrass. Nice play. Greengrass had been cold up until that point. So 2 men on for the Reds, 1 man out. Bottom of the third inning. Ralph Branca, the notorious Dodger, on the mound. Only 27 years old, by the way, Ralph Branca. Branca looks in, gets a sign. Here's the 1-0. That's hit high to center field. And it's going to drop in front of the fielder. And that's a run home. That one jumped right in front of Bobby Thompson. And it's 1-0 Cincinnati. Greengrass at second. Bobby Adams at first. Brings up Ted Kluszewski, Mr. Power. Kluszewski batting .347, 9 home runs, 21 ribbies on the season. Branca must have heard me talk about him because he's lost all of his concentration. Here's the first pitch, and that's grounded straight to second. Spencer with a weak throw. And it's a safe single for Kluszewski. Bases loaded for the Reds. What's happened to the Giants here? That's slow play by Spencer. Spencer rated a 3-star potential in the game. Has a 50 defensive rating. As Gus Bell steps in now, the left-hand hitter, batting .304. He's 0 for 1 today. Bases loaded full of Reds. Only 1 man out, bottom of the third. Westrom puts the target down. Branca kicks and fires on a 3-1. That's outside. And Greengrass will come in to score. Adams will take third, and going to second is Big Clue. Not the Clue that we know, but Big Clue, the other one. Bases loaded. Reds lead 2-0. Here is Roy McMillan, a soft hitter, at the plate. Still 1 man out, bases loaded full of Reds. Branca mops his brow. Bit of an early sweat here. Here's the pitch, and it's grounded past Spencer in his center field, base hit. 2 runs will score. It's 3-0, or only 1 run scored. Oh, right. They held Kluszewski at third. So the score is 3-0. Willard Marshall now at the plate in 1947, according to Big Clue. Willard Marshall had a good season. Was he an early steroid user? Was what Big Clue had asked at the time. So, Tommy Bridges, a former Tiger. Yes, you're right. I do remember the Steve Tate effect. I like that. Don't say his name 3 times when you're up here. Daft Tate, Daft Tate, Daft Tate. Bridges, by the way, is a low-level Hall-worthy player. By the way, Clue, I sent a message to Steve saying if he could just remind us what lawnmower simulator we should choose off Steam. I'm waiting for a reply. Well, that's one fella for whom the grass is always greener. Been a long time since I got to second base. Some marriage advice there in the chat. So here's Willard Marshall at the plate. Still 1 man out. Bases loaded. Here's the 1-0. That's bounced up in the air, and that's to right field. Irvin has it on the run. He reaches up to glove it, throws it over, and I think Kluszewski will stay put, and he does. 2 out. Here's Simonik. Now, we were talking about Bridges. Tommy Bridges, I was getting mixed up with Rocky Bridges. Here's Andy Simonik now, former Philly, I know that much. Here's a 2-1, and that's hit high in the air to left field. Monty Irvin has it covered, and that is that. The inning is over. Cincinnati bats around and scores 3 runs. The Reds are now ahead 3-0, as my voice has definitely changed again. We go to the top of the 4th inning. Joe Nuxhall on the mound. Monty Irvin steps in, right-hand hitter. Monty is 0 for 1 today. We've just seen him come alive in the last inning playing left field for the Giants. Full count on him, on Irvin. That's hit straight to left field, high in the air into the night sky. Out to it, covering it is Greengrass, and he calls off the center fielder, and he reaches up and grabs it. 1 away. Brings up the legendary Bobby Thompson. Lots of power there for Bobby. 0 for 1 today. Here we go. Nuxhall gets a sign from Samanick. Here's the 2-1. Grounded over to third, and that's thrown straight over by Adams to first. And that's 1 away. 2 away. Bobby Adams at third. He's 31 years old, rated a 3.5 star player. He's currently at 2.5 stars. So there's a little room to improve, or if he's coached well. Here is Hank Thompson, now the second of the Thompsons. He's 0 for 1 today as well. Nuxhall looks in, studies the sign with Samanick. Wheels and deals on the first pitch. That one's hit straight to center field. That one's going way back to the wall. And at Crossley, that's a deep center field. It looks like 386 feet. And double there for Thompson. Hank Thompson with a double. So Giants trying to climb back into it now. Here's Don Mueller, a man I always see hit no matter what. He's already got 1 hit today, 1 for 1. Lefty versus righty. Lefty Joe Nuxhall goes into his motion. Here's the first pitch. That's hammered into the night sky, but only to center field. Bell on the run. And he reaches up, side retired. The Giants did get a hit, but nothing else. The Reds lead the Giants 3-0. Bit of Friday night baseball here from Cardiff. So it's probably early evening in most places where people are on this broadcast. So here we go. As Rocky Bridges comes to the plate. Rocky batting 250. Happy Thanksgiving. A bit late from MV to you all. Am I right in saying that Thanksgiving is treated a little bit more special than Christmas? I've never experienced Thanksgiving in the United States. I think they're the only place that does Thanksgiving, or unless I'm wrong. Here's Rocky Bridges now at the plate. He's 0 for 1. Here's a 2-2 count. That's hit to first base. And Luckman will put it in, and he'll rush to the base, and Bridges is out. Yeah, I wonder what it's like, and what's the difference? Apart from what you're celebrating, what actually is the difference? Is it the food? Is it the cranberry sauce? Is it... Well, I don't know what it is. I'm just curious. Here's Joe Nuxhall. He's already 1 for 1. Branca looks in. Here's the 1-2. And it's popped it up. And Westrom has it. And that's 2 away. Here's Jim Greengrass now at the plate. Left fielder. He's 1 for 2 today. Branca looks in. Gets the sign. Here's the 2-0. That's hammered to center field. But that should be covered by Bobby Thompson. And he reaches up to make the grab. That's the inning. Nothing across for the Cincinnati Reds. The score remains Cincinnati 3. The New York Giants nothing. Come on, Giants. I do like the Giants from this period. We go to the top of the 5th inning now. Joe Nuxhall cruising along. As Darrell Spencer takes to the plate. He's 0 for 1 today. Here's the 1-0 from Nuxhall. And that's lifted into right field for a base hit. Actually, center field for a base hit. Picked up and thrown back in. Gus Bell covering center field for the Reds. So a double for Darrell Spencer. And up steps Wes Westrom. Westrom got some power in his bat. He's out of walks, I think, in this game so far. Here's a 2-2 pitch from Nuxhall. That one's drilled to center fielder. Will drop in for a base hit. Bell comes up with it, throws home, and the runner is safe. he's out. Spencer is out with the hook slide. Spencer from the second base was thrown out. Wow, I need to see that again because it will show a different angle. That is amazing. I thought he was going to be safe by a long distance. Turns out he was not. Now then, I've been a bit rusty at this. Where do I find the replay? Here we go. Replay, play-by-play. No, we don't want the play-by-play. There it is, the center field. There's Gus Bell. The runner turns around third. He must be as slow as an elephant. And he is thrown out. Wow, nice tag. So Nuxel gets a nice break there. Top of the fifth inning, still pitching, one out, one man on second. Westrom is on second base. That's a ball inside. On the 3-2 count, walks his man. That's his second walk. 2 men on now for the Giants. They trail 3-0. Here's Alvin Dark now at the plate. One away, like I said. He's 0 for 2 today. Here's the 2-1 from Nuxel, and that's drilled to right field for a base hit. That could be 2. Gus Bell picks it up, throws back in the center. The runners are going, and they got 2 home. And that's a triple. No, and Dark slides. He's out. He went for 3. Looked like he should have stayed for 2. 2 runs do score, but Dark tried to stretch it for third and was thrown out. Nice cutoff play by Ted Big Clue Klazuski. Nice fire to third. Let's have a look at it again. There it is. It was drilled to center field. This is a big park to me. I could be wrong. Nice throw by Gus Bell, but nicely cut off by Klazuski, who threw down the third. That was like a missile. Well, you don't throw a missile, but you know what I mean. Like a javelin then. And he got Alvin Dark out. Some nice action going on on the ballpark, on the field. So I'm hearing now from Big Clue that Thanksgiving is an American holiday unless you've ever been to Sicily. No, Thanksgiving is very big in Sicily. Thanksgiving Day we celebrate taking the land from those Indians. Oh, jeez. That's Mel Gibson equipped in Maverick. Hey, Dwayne, how you doing? Good to see you, good to see you. Just a bit of Friday baseball, it won't be long. Here's Waddy Lockman at the plate, batting first. I'm just doing a bit of out of the park baseball. This is a season I've been playing for a while. And the Giants are just out of that inning. So now the Giants take the field as Bobby Adams comes to the plate. Score is 3-2 Cincinnati. The Giants have pegged it back. Ralph Branco on the mound. The man has been claimed off waivers. Here he comes with a 1-2. And that's hit high into left field. Monty Irvin goes back and he holds it in, 1 away. Lots of famous names and Hall of Famers actually on the field of play. Speaking of which, here comes Tetzel Kazuski. 1 for 1 today. Branco looks in. Here is the first pitch. Klazuski pops it up into left field or hits it out to left field. Irvin brings it down. That's 2 away. Monty Irvin getting a lot of action in left field. 34 years old, Monty Irvin. He's on a $50,000 salary. He's signed through 1953, which tells me he's out of here in the end of this season, probably. But he's still got a 5-star rating. Here's Gus Bell at the plate, batting 304, 0 for 1 today. 2 out now for the Reds. Branco looks in, gets a sign from Wes Westrom. Here he goes, 12s and deals on a 3-2. Struck him out. Down in order goes the Reds. The score remains 3-2 Reds. We go to the top of the 6th inning now. Joe Nuxel, who Clue reliably informs me was a serviceable pitcher. He's servicing it today, just about hanging in there, as Monty Irvin comes to the plate. Monty 0 for 2 today. Here's a full count on Irvin. Down the pipe, but it's missing away. Walk number 3 from Joe Nuxel. And let's see now. The manager of the Reds is Rogers Hornsby. Rogers Hornsby taps his left arm and jogging in from the bullpen is Perkowski. Perkowski, Harry Perkowski. Harry Perkowski is a starting pitcher, 7-year veteran. He can mix 3 different offerings, but none grade out very well. With decent stuff, you do hope for more than average command and control, which he doesn't provide. Perkowski could pitch his way back into a back-end rotation spot. On the season, Perkowski has no stats, but last season was 12-10 with a 3.8 ERA. So lefty Perkowski comes on as Bobby Thompson comes to the plate. Top of the 6th inning, 1 man on, score 3-2 Reds. Here's the 2-1. Bobby hits it to short. McMillan over the second, over the first. Nice play, double play. McMillan underhanded it to Bridges for 1. Bridges up in the air to relay to first. Rack 'em up, folks. 6-4-3. Using the text on screen, as you can tell. Here is Bobby Hoffman, now the pinch hitter, so a pinch hitter now for the Giants. Perkowski, the relief pitcher, has got his double play. Needs 1 more out to get out of the inning. First pitch. It's grounded over the second. And Bridges fills it over the first. Got him. Nothing across for the Giants. Reds are still in front of the Giants 3-2. Bottom of the 6th inning. Branca still on the mound for the Giants. Hoffman now playing second base. He's replaced, it looks like, Darryl Spencer. As Roy McMillan comes out now, the shortstop. Roy is 1 for 2 today. Branca looks in, gets a sign from Westrom. It's a 1-1 count. Grounded over the short, and that's Hoffman up with it. Over the first, got him. So Hoffman playing in relief. Was a pinch hitter, but now he's in the field. Let's see what they say about Bobby Hoffman. A 27-year-old second baseman currently playing for the New York Giants. He has the strength to hit for big league power with 25 home runs in a season. So please tell me about Bobby Hoffman. Despite his strengths, he seems to flounder with the bat and struggle to make big league contact. Hoffman looks like an average Major League Baseball starter. Right, I see. All right. So Willard Marshall comes up, had a good season in 1947, but this is 1953. 1 out. Branca looks in. Here's the 1-2. Inside, struck him out. He could not catch up with that fastball. A bit deceptive there, Branca. That's 2-away. Ralph has just 2 strikeouts in my mind. I always see Ralph Branca as a dodger. I always see him as a fastball pitcher. At the moment, he's just humming along quite nicely. He's still losing the game 3-2. Here's Semenuk. Imagine Branca's playing on the same team as Bobby Thompson in this 1953 universe. Semenuk steps up now. He's 0 for 2. 2 out. Here's the 2-1 from the pitcher. That's hit high in the end of center field. And Bobby Thompson picks it up. So Bobby Thompson helps out Ralph Branca. And no runs, no hits, no errors for the Reds. And nobody left on base. The score remains 3-2 in favor of the Reds. We go to the top of the 7th inning now, and my main man, Don Mueller, will come to the plate. He's 1 for 2. He's due again. He's a good contact hitter. Perkowski looks in, gets a sign from Semenuk. Here's the first pitch, and that's hit to left field. That's going to drop in for a base hit. So 1 man on for the Giants. Greengrass just could not cover the ground quick enough. Here's Willie Mays, and you wonder where Willie Mays was. He was in military service in real life, so I had to fish him out the free agent pool and put him back in. But here he is, Willie Mays, young Willie Mays. I don't know why he's not starting though. I'll have to commission that and sort that out. Perkowski looks in. Mays swinging his bat. He's only batting 190, but he's only had 4 hits. Here's the 1-0. And Willie Mays on cue hits that back. It is gone. A 2-run home run for Willie Mays in 1953. Willie Mays. The crowd here is, well, they were quiet to begin with. They've definitely gone quiet now. Willie Mays with a 2-run home run. Let's have a look at that again. If you want to see some more Willie Mays, check in at Legend Sports, Legend Sports Network. Legends is doing a league at the moment. And I know the Giants are playing. Well, we're playing yesterday. I'm sure Willie Mays is part of that team. Here's the replay. That was just smoked. 364 feet out into the night sky for a 2-run home run, and the Giants now take the lead 4-3. Perkowski giving up the hit there and the home run. Nobody out, top of the 7th. Here's the 0-2 now to Westrom. Grounded to third, and they get him. Bobby Adams picks it up. Fired it to Kluszewski to retire the batter. 1 away. Coming up to bat now is Ralph Branca. The bat's still in his hands. I do not have the DH button on. It's my universe. Perkowski, no seeing, gets a sign from Semenuk. Goes into his motion. And that's a pop-up from Ralph Branca. And Kluszewski may have a play, and then he's on the move, and Kluszewski's got it. Thought he was going to drop it there. That's 2 away. Brings up Alvin Dark, who's the leadoff hitter, really. Batting now is 2 out. Perkowski gets the sign. It's a full count. And I smashed in the center field for a line drive base hit. This could be a double in that big outfield. And yes, Alvin Dark slides into second base. As Gus Bell took a while to pick that up. I'd love to actually take over the GM of the Reds, actually. There's something about them I can feel they've got some potential. Here's Whitey Lockman at the plate now. 2 men out, 1 man on second. Lockman is 0 for 3 today. Perkowski toes the rubber. Here's a 2-2. Nice fastball there. Or was it a changeup? Fastball. That's up in the air in the infield, and McMillan squeezes it for the out. Giants leads 4-3. Stand up and sing. Take me out to the ball game, folks. Hello, folks. Going back to the bottom of the 7th inning now, and Frank Robinson, one of the young Reds, is in the ball game. So we've seen Willie Mays come in and make some damage. This is the future for the Reds. Frank Robinson. Frank Robinson, 17 years old. My God. Did he not play in the minors? Let's have a quick look. In 1950, he's not even played. So somehow in the game, he's in the minor leagues, been imported in the minor leagues, is already good enough to play in the majors. His real life debut, according to this, was in 1956. This is 1953. Branca looks in. Robinson waits. It's a 1-1 count. And that's smashed in the left field. Base hit. This could be 2. As Mondier moves his legs over to the field, left field wall. And yeah, Frank Robinson with some speed gets into second. There's some future here. We've just seen 2 future Hall of Famers in Frank Robinson for the Reds, and just before that, Willie Mays. There's Borkowski, another pinch hitter now for the Reds. Showing off their bench is Bob Borkowski. Man on second for the Reds. Can the Reds come back? It's only 4-3. Branca looks in. It's the 1-2. Struck him out. Nice strikeout there for Branca. That's a CV. What's that? Curveball? Curveball? That'll be CD. What's CV? Change up. What's CV at out of the park, guys? If you can see my screen. The pitch was a CV. Here's Greengrass now at the plate. Man on second. Reds threatening to score. Go ahead, run at the plate. Branca looks in. Still on the mound. It's a 3-0 count. Down the middle, and nice one. He gets the walk. So Greengrass is on. And finally, the manager comes out. I think it was DeRocha at the time. And he's tapped his arm now. The righty's coming in. Hoyt Wilhelm. Hoyt Wilhelm on the mound now for the Giants. Trying to stop the bleeding. 1 out. 2 men on. Grady Hatton, another pinch hitter off the bench. A lefty hitter steps up to the plate. Here's the 1-2 from Hoyt. That was lifted to center field. Bobby Thompson has a beat on it. The runner will tag up from second. And Robinson gets to third. 2 out. Take a look at Hoyt Wilhelm. Hoyt Wilhelm, 30 years old. He's from Clinton, Michigan. He's got several pitches in his arsenal, none of them dominant. His command may kill, he keeps the balls in the park, but his stuff is average at best. An above average arm, he could likely fill in as a setup man. Well, he's definitely selling up today. I can't remember if Hoyt Wilhelm was a Hall of Famer. Hello, Kane Castro. Joining in the stands. As he gets booed into the park, I think. Welcome in, Ken. As Ted Kluszewski comes to the plate. 2 men out here, bottom of the second, man on the corners. Full count. That one's hit to right field by Big Clue. This could go, this might go. It is gone. The 10th home run for Big Clue. Red hot so far. The Reds go back in front 6-4. We have a ball game here, folks. Ted Kluszewski. Boom. Let's play that one again. Play it again. Have a look at this. Boom. That one was gone. There's another way to replay that, surely. Where's the one with the radar? Anyway, it doesn't matter. That was out of here in a hurry. So Hoyt Wilhelm gives up the runs there. 2 men still out. Now the Cincinnati Reds go back up 6-4. We've seen the young Frank Robinson spark the offense for the Reds. Here's Gus Bell. 24 years old. His sperm would last for a while as his son would play in the major leagues and his grandson. Some potent stuff there playing ball anyway. Here's Bell, lefty. Here's 1 for 2. 1 and 2 count. That's into left field. A little jump from Monty Irvin, and the Reds score 3 on 2 hits. The Reds have gone ahead 6-4. And now we have yet another change in the lineups, folks. On the mound for the Reds and in the field for the Reds. So on the mound we'll start first. Ken Raffensperger, the 35-year-old veteran, is on the mound. At second, replacing Rocky Bridges, is Bristol. Yes, we have a Dave Bristol for Vanilla Lane at second. So Monty Irvin will lead off for the Giants here, top of the 8th inning. Raffensperger on the season is 0-2 with 3.58 ERA. He looks in. Semenic puts aside now. It's an 0-2 count. Struck him out. And that's a good strikeout because Monty Irvin does not strike out. 1 away. Here's Bobby Thompson now at the plate. Ken, what else could I say? I mean, his loins were ever long-lasting. What's how do I phrase it? His DNA, there you go. His DNA was potent as it lasted 3 a bit like Boone. So here's Thompson now at the plate. It's a 0-2 count. Struck him out. Nice fastball there from Raffensperger. Ken Raffensperger, 2 strikeouts. He's coming in here dealing as Bobby Hoffman comes in at the plate. 2 out, top of the 8th. Reds looking to close this down with Raffensperger throwing darts out there. There's the 1-0. That one's grounded to short. Oh, and he boots it. Matt Millen boots it at short and he commits the error. And the man is on first. Standing beside Kluszewski on first base is Bobby Hoffman. So Giants have a man on. Let's have a look at this guy, Bristol. Bristol's a 70 defense. You can see why they brought him in there. 19-year-old guy. 19-year-old. Looked like it's his rookie season. But McMillan made the error. As the chat is getting a bit fruity. 53, Ken. 53. Ongoing. Here's Don Mueller, 1953 season. Mueller normally comes up the big hits in my games. He's 0 for, he's 0 for, he's 1 for, he's 2 for 3. Grounds it to second, and that's the ball game. That's the inning. Sign retired. As Dave Bristol picked it up over the first. So it's nice to see these players, less known players, and giving them a run out. Kind of gives me that field of dreams quality to everything. You know, it's good. So we got on the bottom of the 8th inning now. Hoyt Wilhelm, who gave up a home run last time up. Roy McMillan at the plate. So 1-1 to Roy McMillan. McMillan hits it to center field. This could drop in. Base hit. Bobby Thompson. Not the best center fielder out there. And that's a hit for McMillan. So Reds have a man on. They lead 6-4. Wilhelm leans in, gets a sign from Westrom. Here's the 0-2. Struck him out. Bad swing there from Willard Marshall. 1 out for the Reds. Semenuk comes up to the plate. He's 0 for 3 today. Has some pop in his bat. Here's the first pitch to Semenuk. Nice throw down at first. But, McMillan is out. They got him. Wow, I didn't realize that. And on a curveball as well. So McMillan thrown out at first by Wes Westrom. That's 2 away. And look at that again. It was so quick I couldn't quite work it out. Boom. How do you throw it on a curveball? Anyway, 2 out for the Reds. As Andy Semenuk still steps back into the batter's box. Here's the 0-1. That one smoked into left field for a base hit. So Semenuk, a ground ball into left field. He will round first and put on the brakes. So the Reds surprisingly leading the Giants here. As I can't pronounce his name, Joe Seskely comes in at third and he's at the plate. Wilhelm looks in. Full count on Seskely. He pops this up and foul territory, and that is out. Nicely caught by Whitey Lockman. So now we come to the top of the 9th inning. Raffensperger has got 2 strikeouts in his first inning. He's pitching the 9th for the Reds. Trying to close this game down now as Foster Castleman steps in at second. He's the second baseman stepping in, leading off the inning. Oh, changes going on. Here's the 1-1. That's up the middle. McMillan gloves it this time. And not in time for the out at first. An infield hit for Castleman. McMillan's arm not strong enough. I think you can do it, Clue, on this game, I think. So, Big Clue is saying, a new project idea. I've come up with a new project idea. Replay the 13 years of the Ace in Kansas City and try to pull a win instead of your hat. Well, if they keep Reggie Jackson and, well, all of the A's really, the young A's, they should do it. I don't see that shouldn't be too hard, Clue. Because we got different goals. Might be a good project though. As Rhodes, Dusty Rhodes, a phenomenal pinch hitter in one season, I think it was 54, steps into the plate. I had him in one of my Shanks teams, I think Shanks 2 team. Raffensperger looks in, man on first. Here's the 0-2. Struck him out. Raffensperger's dealing out there at the moment. Raffensperger's got 3 strikeouts in 1.1 inning. He's a lefty. 35 years old, Ken Raffensperger, in real life, started off his career with the Cubs in 1940. Actually was playing with the Cubs up until 1941. Played a lot of his career with the Phillies. And then the Reds. He's been with the Reds, it looks like, since 1947. Good to see these vets here. Bill Rigney at the plate. Veteran Bill Rigney, 35 years old. One man out for the Giants, one man on. Top of the ninth inning. Raffenberger gets the sign. Here's the 2-1. And that's popped up. McMillan ranges over out number 2. So 1 out away from closing this thing down. The few fans that are in here today are standing on their feet as Alvin Dark steps up. All these Giants are well known. Raffenberger now looks into the crowd, waits for the save. Here's the 0-1. Get to center field, and that, my friends, is over. The game over. Gus Bell snags it to put a wrap on this one. The Reds take this one 6-4 as they take the field to give each other congratulations. This has been MV broadcasting a quick one, like the Who, from Cardiff, a very cold Cardiff. And tomorrow I'm going to have to get ready for some mudlarking. Yes, folks, you heard that straight. Mudlarking. The best cricket sim on Steam, Dwayne, is... I will put one on, if I can, a bit later on. I don't know on the Clash with Legends or Beatles, anyone really. But I probably could put it, because there's only specialists that probably want to watch cricket. I'd say Cricket 24, in terms of playing, and simming's not quite the right thing to say with cricket, because Cricket 24 is AI versus AI you're going to play, or you're going to play against the AI, you're going to play online. You'd have to learn all that, but you can play it as a solo person with the joystick, which I don't really like to do. It's not bad. Don't get me wrong, it's actually quite good, actually. But I like to pick the AI versus the AI. So here's the scorecard. The Giants dropped to 13-18, and the Reds are 13-19. I thought when I was picking Branca from the schedule, they were still pitching with the Dodgers, but actually it's pitching with the Giants. Have been traded or it's claimed off waivers. So what I love about Out of the Park, by the way, is this little wrap up at the end. How they do this, I do not know. The Reds beat the Giants 6-4 across the field. Cincinnati first baseman Clint Suzuki had an outstanding performance. The way they put that together, I don't know how they did it. He went 2 for 3 with a home run and a walk, while adding 3 RBIs and scoring once. The last place Reds have won 4 consecutive games, so they're on a roll. What was interesting was why they're not playing Frank Robinson. He did play and he got a hit. He's 17 years old. He's very unhappy, by the way. Not a happy man. A man from Deanville, Texas. And they think he's going to be pretty good, according to the game. He's got a 5-star potential, which we know is to be true. So, without further ado with that one. Standings, yeah, Keno, well, of course, respect goes to that. So, we look at the standings in 1953. This is the 14th of May, 1953. I was thinking about Bernie at this stage, thinking, well, Bernie would have been, what, 1? From what Bernie told us his age is. I think, no, he would have been, yeah, he was a toddler anyway. Ken, you may have been a toddler at this point, if I've got your age roughly right. But yeah, this is, the Detroit Tigers lead the league in 1911, you can see on screen. I don't know who won in 53. Let me see. Dodgers had a good team in 53, as they did all that era. And I think the Yankees, but the Yankees are floundering. So if I look at the Yankees, for example, have they got any massive injuries? I don't know. I love this meet the team thing. You can see Yogi Berra's one of the stars. Well, we know the stars anyway, but I like the way that Out of the Park does it. You can see who's up in the at Double A is Norm Seaburn. At New York coming up is Bill Scouron. Tom Sturdivant at AAA Syracuse. I absolutely loved all of this stuff. Looking at the minor leagues. I spend all day just looking at the minors. You know, if I go here are all the leagues. Here's the Pacific Coast League. If I go to any of the standings, Pacific Coast. I've got this on Action PC actually, and I love it. I love the names of the teams. The Portland Beavers. Now, isn't there some history around the Portland Beavers? I'm sure I saw something on Netflix. Anyway, the Hollywood Stars. These are good players, I believe. There's Dale Long, 27 Dale Long. I'm sure Dale Long was a Pittsburgh legend at some point. Let's have a look. Yes, and he goes on to play for the Pittsburgh Pirates later on in 1953. So he's there lurking in the Pacific League. I don't know if there's any other names that anyone wants to see. Mel Queen is a name that I recognize. He's 35, playing in the Pacific League. I just love you can see what goes on beyond your sort of main leagues. You know, if you choose the minor leagues, you can see quite a lot. Barney Schultz is a name I kind of know. Don't know why. Let's have a quick look. Not really prominent in Major League, but his name is familiar. Or maybe I'm thinking of Barney Rubble. I don't know. Yeah, I do have Cricket 24. I do indeed. I could show you them, Dwayne, if a couple of minutes I'll load up. It takes a little longer to load up, but I will load up a cricket game as well for sure. You know, but yeah, there's some guys here in the minor leagues. I could spend hours. You know, years ago I would have spent a bit more time looking at this stuff. The Pacific League, let's have a look. Is it the Oakland Oaks as well? I can recognize a Negro Leaguer here, Piper Davis, and they're familiar. 35 years old Piper. It's nothing like watching some of these guys come to the end of their career, but still playing. Spider Jorgensen's a name I recognize. These are all older players now. Johnny Van Koyk. That's an interesting player name. It's Dutch, from the sounds of it. Let's have a look. Oakland athlete. He doesn't get a shot. Yes, he does. He gets to Brooklyn in 1947. So again, with action with this, you can't lose with the amount of. I mean, look at the minor leagues in 1953. This is ridiculous amount of leagues. Triple League, AAA. There's 3 major leagues or 3 AAA leagues. Double A, there's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and single A, there's a couple. What's BC? No, that can't be it. BC, I'm not sure what that is. And DE, not sure what BC and DE are. But imagine they're really low leagues. So just go back to the major leagues. That's where we are. So that's where the standings are. Al Rosen's leading the league. That was his key season, wasn't it, 1953? Because we've seen him in Shanks do really well with that card. In fact, he's done very well for Hawaii Volcanoes, if I remember correctly. I had him one season in Shanks 1. Somebody, I can't remember, is it Joe? I can't remember who it was. Al Rosen doesn't have a brilliant 1953. Gus Zernial, about 348. Hector Rodriguez, never heard of him, 345. Vic Wertz, I know. Al Rosen again, but Rosen's 53 season is a good season, I know that. In the National League, Cal Abrams, batting 372 for Pittsburgh. There's Ted Kluszewski with 10 home runs. We just saw that. Gil Hodges, 27 ribbies. D. Fondy. Why do I know that name pretty well? Granny Hammer for Phillies. Batting WAR 1.9. Longest hitting streak at the moment is Vic Wertz. Just the level of detail in these games is absolutely tremendous. You really can't go wrong, especially for leagues. So without further ado, I'm going to show one last thing, league history. Going to look at history index. Going to look at accomplishments. It's only a young league, but we've had one no-hitter by a guy called Ron Nechiai, I can't pronounce it, from Brooklyn. He's 20 years old. In real life, he had one season, 1952, where he went 1-6 with a 7.08 ERA. I think I've got Talent Engine on, which means anyone can really break out. So that's probably what's happened to him this season. And that is that, really. What a wonderful card he's got. Look at that. Scouting tells you, yeah, he's got elite stuff. So Ron Nietzsche in real life really wasn't up to much. But in this game, he is. Let's give a little card. Because of his accomplishment there. There you are. Ron Nietzsche. And I can't pronounce his name. Nekia. I can't pronounce it. Beatles would tell me off because he would know exactly how to say. Oh, Big Clue says, I'll tell you now, Dwayne. Why did I pick 1953? Yeah, sorry, Ken. No, you're as young as you feel. I'm not far behind you, Ken. Don't you worry about that. But most of us are just behind you. Why did I pick 1953? I think I picked it. There was a reason. That's it. Because I know that's the Dodgers' best team of that era. I really wanted to see how they performed. I think that's part of it. I'm not a big fan of the 1950s, but there's a lot of players that clearly did well in the 60s that grew up in the 50s. I wanted to see them evolve. Like we just saw Willie Mays hit a home run from pinch hitting. We saw Frank Robinson hit pretty well in that game. There are so many Hall of Famers from the 60s that are making their way. And what I like to see was out of the park how it handled them. As we see with Frank Robinson, in fact, that's a really good point. I just want to see what's going on with the Giants. Because I had to pull him back into the Giants because he was on military police. I don't think Willie Mays played the 1953 season. And if he did, please let me know. If I'm going to the New York Giants, on depth chart, I think I can change it. I changed it. I'll come to you now, Dwayne, about the colours. I think your clue asked me that as well. The long and the short, I can't remember how I did it. You have to go into Steam, and then you'll sort it by... What do you sort it by? I think you sort it by... Go to the workshops, and in the workshops you'll see skins. And then you'll be able to subscribe to the skin you want. And then in the game itself, if I remember correctly, I'll have to show you. I think there's an option there to bring in your workshop when you load up a new game anyway. And that's it. So I've got quite a few skins. I think I can do it here. I just don't remember how to do it. Workshop Central, I think it is. Yeah. So I downloaded the skin files, light, for out of the park. I downloaded the skin, dark, classic, and light. I think this one is classic. I think this relates to what Out of the Park looked like in 2004 when it was Out of the Park 6, and a lot of people like this color. It's the classic color. I think once you've downloaded it, and then you have to just activate it, as it said here, reinstall it. Just click on the one you want. Like, there you go. And like I said, Beatles is better than I am at remember. I've done it obviously, but I can't remember how to do it. But when I go back into Steam, I will show you for sure. So that's how you do it, Dwayne. You have to go into the Steam, go to the workshops there, go download or subscribe to whichever one you want to download when your Out of the Park comes on. Then you go to, like I said, I think you go to game settings, not game settings. You go to file, then you go to settings. So there's a couple of ways to do it actually. Yeah, here's my skin there, Out of the Park Classic. I have light as well. So let's do light for a moment. I don't like light, as you can see, it's very bright on the eye. Let's do this again. File. Yes, in file. Settings. I go to Out of the Park Classic, which I've downloaded from the workshop, from Steam. There you go. It's quite a nice little thing there. Hopefully that will help. So, Ken Castro said, I started a 64-team double elimination hockey tournament with cards and dice. Completion 5 years. Oh my God. Oh my God. So, Big Clue said Neckeye is Ron Berry. Is that what you're saying? That doesn't sound like Neckeye. Yeah, so if you guys want to see a bit of cricket, I'm quite happy to go into cricket, but I probably was, actually I'll probably save it for another one. So what I'll say, guys, just, I know Legends and Beatles and those guys are going to come on soon. I will just say it's been a pleasure doing a bit of it out of the park. I will do some action over the weekend, but not until I've done my mudlarking with my old girlfriend, well, my old friend I should say, down in Swansea tomorrow. So I'm going down to Swansea, which is, 20 miles away from Cardiff in South Wales. It's known for beautiful beaches. In fact, I think Catherine Zeta-Jones, I've driven to her house. She wasn't in, but Tara and Michael Douglas have a house there, so I remember driving and staring outside the gates before the security moved me on, because I kind of looked like a little bit stalkerish. It did help that my mother and my sister with me at the time. But they do have a lovely house down there. There's a beach called Gower Beach, which is very world famous. I've been there a few times until I was banned. And then you have in Wales, in West Wales, in Wales in particular, just have amazing beaches, which doesn't get publicised enough. I think they're world-class beaches. They're known as having world-class beaches. So if you ever come to the UK, I think it's someone in the community, I think it's Pip, I don't know who it is, recently came to Wales actually, but it was too far away to connect. But yeah. So, without further ado, I'm looking forward to seeing some other broadcasts. Ken, I'm looking for some soccer stuff, man. Point me in the direction of soccer. I've got some soccer. I've got Football Manager, which I've loaded up one where I just watch. Because I like watching, Ken. I like watching. Because the management one is good, but I'm trying to play with Manchester United. It's really hard to beat them. Really hard to do anything good. So, I was joking, Dwayne. I was wondering if anyone caught me saying that, but you clearly did hear me say, did you say banned from the beach? No, I'm only kidding, Dwayne. I'm only kidding. That's quite funny. Stalkerish. Yeah, because we've got to keep it exciting, isn't it? My life is got to keep it exciting. So a bit of stalking is not a miss. Well, it's a movie star. As long as I'm not, I was only outside the house. Wasn't doing anything, weird. My mother and my sister, the fact that we all had binoculars wasn't that weird, but it was just to see where they lived and kind of look inside a little bit. But it wasn't too bad. Anyway, so, guys, I shall leave you to it. I shall be back I'm obviously back and doing an assortment of stuff. I know Beatles did the out of the park stuff, and Mike has got me going back into out of the park, but I will go back and, I like action, so I will go back and do action a bit more. I might come on, if I don't see Legends on, if it's not in the thing, I might come on and do a bit of cricket, if that's okay, and try and force feed you T20 cricket. The new game is out, Dwayne, so it's called Cricket 24. To play, you'd have to really know cricket, I think. There's another one called Cricket Captain, which is more management. You've seen me play that as well, I think. It's also good, but it doesn't hold my interest. Cricket 24 is very customizable. I've created a lot of teams for that game over the last 5 or 6 years of the series of games, and luckily I don't have to recreate them for this version. The players I've created for Cricket 22, happily, we're able to use the same players that we created. It's a massive universe of cricket, so yeah, definitely. All right. Well, I'll come back on at about 10 and soon gobble down some drink, as in soft drink. I've got some ginger and lime, sort of cordial. So I'll just pack it with some ice and I'll be back. That's only if Legends and Beatles are not on, or anyone else that in the community. So I'll thank you all. Thank you, Dwayne, Clue, and Ken, and Clee Baseball Fan. I think were the ones who came in today. I don't think I've missed anyone major. Let's have a look down the list. But thank you. I'm obviously going to be back. Probably like Legends was in here today as well. Thank you, Legends. I will just literally go down the list. But yeah, I'll be back in the mornings most of the time. But tomorrow morning I won't, because I'll be, as I said, I'll be foraging in the forest. Doing some mudlarking, as my friend likes to call it. Alright. So thanks for watching. I'll see you all soon. Take care. We're in the money. We're in the money. Da, 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 da. Always look on the bright side of life. Do 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 do. Always look on the. Oh,